Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful session. We've been on this series of training for the SAP Master Data. Please check our YouTube channel for previous videos for our trainings. We've been looking at the accounts receivable, master data, transactions. We also looked at the accounts payable. And we're actually rounding up this session, probably at the winding up phase. We're looking at the GL master data. For previous sessions, we have done GL master data. Today, we're actually going to look at posting the posting journal entries using your ledgers. It's your very own SAP consultant, Adiele Kelechi, and you can reach me via my email and my phone number. We're actually just doing this to share knowledge. We hope that you could visit our YouTube channel, like, share, recommend, and we hope to have an exciting time as we move on. So I'm going to go straight to the slide for today. Sorry about that. A little bit above and below the screen. Okay, so we have this. So I'm just going to bring it up a little. Okay. All right. So we have the topic for today, which is our journal entries in SAP. So we're going to, the basis for this is, this topic is normally familiar with, accountants are normally familiar with this particular topic because it involves very, very important principle in accounting. This is the principle of debiting and crediting. Using the source documents like your invoices and your purchase, your invoices, your credit memos, and all other source documents. The configurations of the GL happen behind the screen, sorry, in those documents. But when you come to the use of general journals, the difference is that you might or you will be providing the GLs that you'll be recommending to the system, the GLs that you use to post your transactions. So it's a little bit, for non-accountant, it might be tricky, but I hope that I'll just make it as simple as possible so that you can understand the concept of general journal entries and how you can actually carry out attacks in SAP. Okay, so we're just going to look at what general journal is all about, and we'll go down into our system and actually see how you can actually post transactions using your general journals, or what we call the journal entry. Okay, journal entry is used to record a business transaction in the accounting records of a business. A general journal is usually recorded in the general ledger. So basically, the journal is a book, but the content of that book is actually your general ledgers. We talked about the concept of chart of accounts in a previous session. So you actually post into the general journal or into the journal using your general ledgers. Alternatively, it may be recorded in a subsidiary ledger that is summarized and rolled forward into the general, ledger. So the concept of subsidiary ledger is also applicable in SAP. Basically, you have your receivables, account receivables, and account payables that are actually tied to your vendor master and customer master account. Those are subsidiary ledgers, but they feed into the general ledger. Of course, they are created as chart of accounts too. So it's either using your subsidiary ledgers or your sub ledgers, or you're using the actual ledgers to post your transaction. In most cases in SAP during configurations, you might not be, you won't be able, depending on the configuration of the chart of accounts, you might not be able to post directly into sub-ledgers. Sub-ledgers are tied to master data transactions, which we call also your subsidiary ledgers. While we have the open ledgers, like ledgers for your expense, to your income, which can be posted directly. So as time goes on, you would actually come, when you meet such errors, you probably understand why you might not be able to post into some ledgers. Okay, the general ledger is used to create financial statements for the business. So basically, your financial statement is a collection of ledgers. It's basically about collection of ledgers that fit into some structure, which is, of course, your IFRSs and IASs. These are standards that have been set to for presentation of your financial statements. So, but the key thing is there is no financial statement without a ledger. Yeah, there is no financial statement. Statement is basically a presentation. What are you presenting? You're actually presenting your general ledgers. Okay, the logic behind the general journal is to record every business transaction in at least two places, which is known as a double entry in accounting. So it's actually a key concept in accounting, which we call the principle of double entry, where for every posting, there are two accounts that are affected. So it says that for every corresponding credit entry, there is a debit entry. So for every increase in an account, there's a decrease in another account. So it's basically just a concept in accounting that actually ensures that your trial balances, your balance sheets, and every other account of records, statements that follows, everything is created in using the principle of accounting, the principle of debit and credit, such that there's always a debit side or the credit side of your postings are always in balance. They're always balanced because of the principle of debit and credit, which is the double entry principle. So, so you can see, for example, when you generate a rent expense or when you make payment for rent by cash, you see that an account is increasing, which is your expense account. And of course, the value of cash you have on hand is decreasing because you have used it to actually procure a service. Of course, we can also look at it when you procure a goods. Let's say, for example, you procure a phone. You give out something from your pocket, which is money, and you get something back into your hand, which is a phone. So it's always about that give and take. In just putting a simple term, give and take, increase and decrease process that happens when you actually do postings in accounting. So, well, if you want to really understand, I mean, for those who are not accountants, if you want to really get to, you need to understand the foundations. This is one of the foundations in accounting, and you need to probably study further or read further about the double entry principle to help you understand the concept of the general journal or the journal entries. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to go into the system and see how we can post a general journal, a general ledger, a journal entry in SAP. So the transaction code to actually carry out this transaction, the journal entry transaction in SAP, is FB60 or F-02. So let's look at the difference. Instead of putting the code, I'm going to go through the menu part. So I'm going to go to accounting, go to financial accounting. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two. And of course, in your time, you can choose which you prefer. General ledger, you can go to posting. Then we have FB50, which is enter general ledger account document, and F-02, which is general posting. So we're actually going to do two examples using two of these transaction codes so that you can just understand the concept a little bit from different sides. Of course, FBs are the enjoy screen, so they make your life a little bit, they make the life of the user a little bit easy. So let's start with FP50. So just double click on that. Just a second. So you can see that this is GL account posting single screen transaction. So with the single screen transaction, you can do your journal entry or your GL account posting in one screen. Okay, so you have the title, enter GL account document, of course, which is most likely your journal entry. First of all, you have your document date. So I'm going to select this. Select your dates. Okay, fine. Confirm the currency. So I'm going to use a GN. You can put the document reference. Say, have, let's say, repairs. If you have anything like that, or you could be just a brief about the document you want to post. The company code at the top here represents the company code you're posting into. So I want to post into SD01. So I have to change that. Okay, so I have to redo this. So I'm going to do this. So I have the next date, which is your posting date, document dates, and posting dates. You have hold. You can actually hold this document. We're going to look at the principle of holding and packing in our next class. So the header text, you can say repairs, just a brief, GL account. Okay, so basically when you enter the date, the header text, depending, the currency, depending on what you want to do, okay, USD is fine. The first thing you go to after leaving the header document is to go to the line item document. In your line item, you will actually provide the GL account that the system is actually going to post in it. So you're going to select the account that needs to be debited, which is depending on the nature of the account, could be an increase or decrease, and the account that will be credited could also be an increase or decrease depending on the kind of accounts you're using. So we have like 5 major kinds of accounts. We have the assets, we have the liabilities, we have the income, we have the expense, we have the equity. So depending on the nature of the accounts, these accounts have different ways they affect our postings. So I'm going to first of all select the account I want to debit. So click the drop down. So the essence of clicking the drop down is actually to search for the particular GL. Just in case I don't have the GL number offhand, I need to search for the GL. So when you click on search, remember to always remove the maximum limits or maximum hits. This means that it's only going to give you the number of GLs based on these hits. So you confirm your company code. If you know the GL, you can use an asterisk. Let's say I want to look for ranks. Close the asterisk, close the description with an asterisk. Click on OK. So it will go into and search. So I don't have that. So pardon me, I'm just going to remove this. Click on OK to see the list of all the GLs. So let's say I want to do building repairs. So select that, double click. So the account code is 4501. So you have the next column, D or C, which means debit or credit. So when I actually, now I'm trying to pay for building repairs. So I have building repairs and I'm making this payment via the bank. So building repairs, I'm going to be receiving. So I'm going to actually be debiting that account. Bank, I'm actually going to be giving some money for building repairs. So I'm actually going to be crediting my bank account. So I'm just going to do this debit. Let's say this is $500. I'll need to also provide a cost center that will be in charge of this cost. All these configurations have been done, so it's basically just about selecting the particular account you want, making the postings. So the next is the bank account. So I'm just going to search also. Just click on the GL drop down. It's going to sort the accounts appropriately. Double click on bank PHP, which is my bank, credit bank, confirm the amounts. And also you have assignment numbers, you have text, so you can say here building repairs. Say bank. Okay, so the bank doesn't actually require a cost center because balance sheet items do not require cost centers. So if you're done providing the accounts that need to be debited and credited, so the next we can do is you can go to simulate, click on simulate. The essence of simulating is for the system to give you the posting behind the scene, or show you how the transaction is going to be posted. So I'm just trying to, now when you have a yellow, of course, I've taught you about handling errors in SAP. The yellow just means a caution, and I'm fine. Just click on enter to validate. So I'll actually click on enter, and I'm actually waiting for system to simulate this transaction and show me the postings behind the scenes. So you can see that the line item are controlled by the posting keys, and of course D and C is controlled by the posting keys. So I have two items. The posting key 40 means debits, posting key 50 means credits. So the two GLs have been debited, credited, and you can see the amount by the side. So the next thing I can do is to click on save. So when I save, this is going to generate a document number. So for every posted transaction in SAP, you actually get a document number that can be used to track that transaction. So it's important you make sure that you confirm the transactions before you post. Of course, there are always ways of reversing if you make a mistake. So I have document number 20. Okay, so I want to, we're going to go into details about displaying your documents, transaction codes you need to use. I've also explained that in the previous session. So go to documents. If you're still within this page, you've not left this page, go to documents and go to display if you want to display the transaction that you just posted. Just a second. Okay, so you can see the transaction in data entry view. Okay, so there are two views of displaying your transactions in SAP. You have the general ledger view and the data entry view. So we have the data entry view. You can see the data. You can see the cost center, the title, profit center. You can see the segment, and all that. You can actually click on this icon to change, to move this to a change mode. This is a display mode. You can go click on the heart to take you to the document header, where you can see basic information about the line item of this document. If you click on currency and go to group currency, it's going to show you, of course, our group currency is in euro. It's going to show you the transaction in euro. Go back to document currency. Fine. If you click on the general ledger view, it's going to, of course, change this view from the data entry view to the general ledger view. Here you can see some columns were actually added. And of course, your services for objects, you can attach documents for these postings. You can also view the workflow process. I mean, when we say workflow, I mean those who have access to make necessary approvals before this document can finally be depending on the authorizations that have been done. You might need to go through your work to see who's actually going to make authorize this transaction. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to go back. So this is actually how to post your journal transaction in SAP using your GL account. And the transaction every 50 is your GL account document, which is tied to your journal. Okay, so the next is we're going to go back and see how we can perform the same transaction using another transaction called F-02. We're going to double click on that. So you can see the screen is different. That's the difference between the Enjoy screen and the F-02, F-50 and F-02. Same, select the document date. The document date. You can put a reference. Header. Confirm the currency. The document type for your journal ledger, your journal posting is SA. Of course, the period will change when we execute this transaction. So when you scroll down a little, you're going to see the first line. Then you're going to look at the first you're going to see is the posting key. Now, basically, the posting key is used to post transactions depending on the effect you want to have on the ledger. For posting a journal ledger, we have 40 as the posting key. Let's look at more posting keys. The drop down. So this is actually interesting. We have the posting key numbers. We have the accounts, whether it's the account type. Customer, C is here means customer, V here means vendors. We have the debit and credit column. So D means debit, C means credit. Then you have, of course, the posting key name. So where is 40? Go down to 40, you see 40. G means general ledger. All right, so A means assets. So we have 40 for general ledger, debit entry. So we're selecting that. So here we're going to select the GL account. Click drop down, say okay, try to sort. Let's see if we can get another GL. We can use repairs or vehicle servicing. We can enter. So let's say vehicle servicing. So I can copy this text. Enter. Date is fine. Oh, okay, sorry. I want to change this. Enter. So confirm the amount. Let's say this is $300. We need to provide a cost center for GL. So repairs will be for marketing, vehicle for marketing from the text. So let's say vehicle servicing, marketing. Okay. Then you have the next, which is your posting key for the next line. This is 50. 50 means credit. You can check down. So 50 means credit for a GL. So depending on the kind of transaction you want to post. So we're going to be crediting our bank, PHP. Confirm the amount. Just put your backspace. That's 300. This doesn't require a cost center. Use asterisk. It's going to replicate the text. I think we're fine. Use the display document icon to display the posting, so you can see that this posting has actually been done. So you can view it in both currencies. You can check. You can pack these documents and post later. You can use an accounting model to post this transaction. You can use fast entry. going to explain this concept in other in subsequent videos. So we don't need to put more columns here because it means we might want to do other transactions. So you can do more than one GL posting in a page, but of course, it's going to retain this same header information. So you can see the posting key 40, a GL account, it's debited, debiting means positive, crediting means negative by the amount. Then let's go to document. Okay, we have already simulated. Then just post. So we've actually successfully created the second GL account in SAP. Now we're going to actually look at the analysis of line items for GL. So click on a new screen. So let's look at the GL account. Let's try to analyze this transaction by viewing the accounts that we posted to. Let's see how this transaction was posted. Transaction code for GL line item displays FBL 3N. 3N. So click there. Okay, so confirm the accounts. So click the drop down. I think I remember them. So we're just going to be we're going to be selecting two accounts. So let me use this multiple selection screen. Click the drop down. Sort, arrange. The first was, I think we did building repairs. We did vehicle servicing. Vehicle servicing. So I want to display these two GLs. So I'm going to execute. I want all items, and I want it to be a normal item. Execute. So let me, the idea is to display these two GLs and check whether these transactions were actually posted. Okay, so you can see the transaction here posted on the 3rd of April 2021. If you double click on it. So let me go back. So now this is the GL line item, GL account line item display. The essence of this is to show by line item, the transactions have been posted to a particular GL. The essence of that is for reporting, is for you to be able to follow through with transactions that have been posted, check those transactions and confirm their existence. And you can also get further information about GLs that have been posted. Okay, so you can identify, you can sort also. So let's see, I want to get the display for a particular line item which I'm interested in, which is 21. You can search, click on documents, click on the tab, particular column, document, use the filter, document number, 21, click on enter. So it's going to filter only the document number you require. Then I want to drill down further to see the details of this transaction. So you can easily select this and use the display, or you double click on the line item. So this is on. I can see my header, I can see the cost center, I can see basically other informations. The next I can do, I can, of course, edit this if I need to edit any information, or I go to the call-up document overview. Now in the call-up overview, like we're very aware, you can see the postings at the GL level. Go to the header, you can see more details about who posted this transaction, when it was posted, the transaction code that was used. Okay. Of course, you can display the currency. If you're done, you can refresh, bring back all the list. You can also add more columns. Let's say I want to see some more columns on this my display. I want to see this fiscal year. I want to see the GL general ledger currency. So just select this in here, move it to this page, click on copy. So you can see that I've been able to enhance my table. I have the year, I have the currency that was used. So you can probably play around with your tables. I can actually save this table so that subsequently, so I can say Kelly 1 is user specific to me, click on save. So I have this table. I can actually display my reports using this table in subsequent transactions. You can go to list and export this to other forms, word processing, spreadsheet like Excel, because you can select this and do a subtotal. So it's going to subtotal based on document date. So for first, you have the total. For fourth, you have total. So you can actually subtotal your line item by date. So for every transaction for the seventh, the subtotal is this. So basically you can try to get more information about your line items, about transactions that be posted in your general ledger. And the FBL3N will give you that functionality. Okay, so thank you very much. This is the much we can go for posting general ledger transactions, or of course, your general journal entries. Now, basically, you can reach me through my YouTube channel. Subscribe, please subscribe, share, like. Also, you can connect with me through my WhatsApp number. You can send me an email if you need more information about training, support, and have further questions about this particular video. So thank you very much for finding out time to go through, and do have a nice day. Thank you very, very much.